China, formerly known as the People's Republic of China, is a country in East Asia. It's the world's most populous country, with a population exceeding 1.4 billion people. The country has established its own rules and regulations that are found to be very strange. Let us take a look. 1. Naming children with strange names is not allowed. China forbids naming children strange names. It is expected that the choice of the child's name depends on those that have given birth to them. But in China, it is different, as the government does not allow children to have an uncanny name. Accordingly, if a parent thinks the name is okay, but is considered weird, then they won't call the child that name. The name should also be translatable to Mandarin. Russians need to be announced by citizens when they approach. Citizens of China need to announce when a Russian is approaching. The law was enacted in 1907, where if a person failed to announce that a Russian was approaching, the offense was punishable by death. Strangely, it is a requirement to announce that someone was approaching just because they were of a different nationality. Dating a colleague is not allowed. Most workplaces make provisions for associates who are dating. In Guangzhou province, an internet company has implemented some strict policies on dating. Men employed by the company for less than a year are forbidden from dating a colleague. The same goes for ladies employed less than 3 months. Male workers under 25 are not allowed to date an associate at all. This law is strange in that a person's partner does not concern the company, since it is a personal matter. The students get loans from loan sharks. In most countries, students get loans from the government, which they will use to fund their education and pay them later when they have already found jobs. In China, student loans are obtained from loan sharks, who are money lenders. They may exploit the students and set high interest rates with limited timelines. Children are required to salute passing cars. In China, it is a tradition for children to salute passing cars by raising their hands. This law means that elementary school children are obliged to stop and raise their hands on the street when they see an oncoming car. This law helps in reducing cases of small children being involved in accidents. Brilliant, I think. Adult content is forbidden. All forms of media are carefully managed and only use a miniature version of the internet which is available. Any type of adult material is punishable by 3 years in prison. Any emails sent by citizens are subjected to censorship, and websites tend to load very slowly. Some citizens find their way through these sites, though it is illegal. It is estimated that around 90 million users rely on virtual private network services. The secrets of sericulture are not to be shared. Sericulture is the production of silk. The art of making silk is associated with China, since it has been notable for this activity for the past centuries. This law states that anyone found guilty of the offense was to be tortured to death. China will eliminate those who share the secret trade of sericulture. Silk has value in China. Wearing silk in China was recognized as a status symbol, and only the noble class was allowed to wear silk. The Silk Road was essential in Chinese culture because it economically helped China trade with the East, West, and Europe. China could trade their commodities and make money. Cars are not allowed to stop at crosswalks. Cars are not allowed to stop at a pedestrian crossing. This law is very peculiar, since it is usually known that cars must stop at crosswalks so that pedestrians can cross the road. In China, cars cannot stop and let pedestrians pass. This is according to the Beijing traffic laws, which affirms that power-driven vehicles are disallowed to stop at a pedestrian crossing. Adult children must visit their parents. Chinese culture places a significant emphasis on respect for the elderly. China introduced a new elderly rights law, which states adults should care about their elderly parents' needs and never reject them. The law was implemented to fight the loneliness often experienced among the elderly. To see a doctor, you need a ticket first. China is the most populated country globally, and the health system has to operate differently because of the many people. They can either buy a ticket online or through a mobile app. If they don't, they have to wait in a very long line at the hospital or clinic, which could be very inconvenient. Once they have the ticket, they get to choose the doctor they'd like to see. In the reception, they ask a patient for their ID card. This enables them to see a doctor immediately. As seen above, regarding the rules and regulations to be followed in China, it is also a magnificent country. It has produced many things that benefit both internally and externally to other parts of the world. It is a wonderful country with beautiful scenery and unique culture. It has also impacted the world through products, electronics, fashion, art, and not forgetting entertainment. China is the second largest economy and thus is responsible for more than 15% of the global GDP. It is essential for one to learn about other cultures and to understand how different people live. Remember, for many of these interesting and captivating stories, keep it locked by subscribing and commenting down below. Also remember to turn on the notification bell so that you never miss such topics.